They didn't even know the bill. They run out, they say death, death, death. Well, Obamacare is death. That's the one that's death.
That was President Trump today. He saw his interns in the background, a handsome group, pressuring the Senate to complete a compromise bill that would repeal Obamacare. Meanwhile, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, spoke to reporters today following 2 hours of closed testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Here's what he said.
My name is Jared Kushner. I am senior advisor to President Donald J. Trump. When my father-in-law decided to run for president, I served his campaign the best I could because I believe in him and his ability to improve the lives of all Americans. And now, serving the president and the people of the United States has been the honor and privilege of a lifetime. I am so grateful for the opportunity to work on important matters such as Middle East peace and reinvigorating America's innovative spirit. Every day, I come to work with enthusiasm and excitement for what can be. I have not sought the spotlight. First in business and now in public service, I have always focused on setting and achieving goals and have left it to others to work on media and public perception. Since the first questions were raised in March, I have been consistent in saying that I was eager to share any information I have with the investigating bodies, and I've done so today. The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper and occurred in the normal course of events of a very unique campaign. Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses. And I have been fully transparent in providing all requested information. Donald Trump had a better message and ran a smarter campaign, and that is why he won. Suggesting otherwise ridicules those who voted for him. It is an honor to work with President Trump and his administration as we take on the challenges that he was elected to face. Creating jobs for American people, keeping America safe, and eliminating barriers to achieving the American dream. Thank you very much, and I look forward to taking questions from the House committee tomorrow. Thank you.
Dave Bossie is the president of Citizens United. He worked on the Trump campaign. Some say he is an informal advisor to the president. Still, he won't confirm or deny, but he joins us tonight. How do you think that went?
Jared went very well today. I do. I think he did a very good job. Look, as a former chief investigator for one of the main congressional committees back in the 90s when the Clintons were under investigation, I wish we had people like Jared Kushner come forward, because if you recall, they all dissemble. They all try to hide behind the Fifth Amendment. They hide behind document production. They hide behind their lawyers. Right. Jared Kushner volunteered. He came forward in a completely transparent way, told the committee today the answers to the questions they asked. Obviously, we don't know what was asked or said, but he answered the questions, and tomorrow he's going to do the same in the House. He divulged all the documents, and from what I've seen, there are exculpatory emails in there saying, "Get me out of this crazy meeting," while that now infamous June meeting was happening in Trump Tower. So there is going to be evidence that comes out of today and tomorrow that I hope puts this crazy investigation.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, Kushner just made sweeping blanket statements about his own innocence. And if those prove to be untrue, he has massive legal exposure.
Exactly.
So,
and I mean,
this is, it's hard to believe he would say this. He's very reckless.
He has tremendous lawyers, too. Abby Lowell and that team, Jamie Gorilich and that team are outstanding lawyers. They're the Clinton team, and I went up against them many times. They are outstanding. He is getting good advice. He would never, I can honestly say, I would never let a client do that unless we knew the facts.
Not. So here's my one-sentence overview of what I think the political landscape is here. So the permanent class in Washington, Republicans and Democrats, really dislikes the president and his agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only group that really supports Trump, the people who voted for him, and the very few elected officials who came out for him. And
Right.
first among those is Jeff Sessions, and the president is attacking Jeff Sessions again today. Why is he doing that?
Well, look, he's a frustrated president right now when it comes to the investigation, and he looks at why this wide-ranging open investigation is ongoing, and he looks at the reason of Jeff stepping away from the duties as Attorney General to allow someone else to make the decisions. And
right,
and
he's mad that it happened. I absolutely get it.
But and that's why.
I understand.
You asked why.
But it
and
happened.
That's why.
It happened.
Of course.
So at this stage, what does anyone profit from the president being at war with his Attorney General who supports
Well, I wouldn't
him?
say it's at war. I would just say he's showing his displeasure in that decision, and he can show it more than one time. He's the president of the United States.
Can the president fire Mueller?
Of course he can fire Mueller. Would he? No, I don't believe for a moment that he would do that.
Huh.
No, I don't think
Do you
so.
think he's trying to push Sessions out?
Oh, I think that the president is has confidence in Jeff Sessions. He said so last week. I don't see any other reason to believe otherwise.
If Sessions left, do you think it would be possible to get a new Attorney General through the Senate?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. How quickly you can do that, I don't know, but you have the August recess coming. But whether it happened, whenever it happened, of course, if the president picks a tremendously qualified person, he'll get him through the Senate.
When's the Russia stuff going to end?
As soon as the mainstream, look, the president has some victories, legislative victories under his belt. If he can get those, he puts to bed a little bit of the White House turmoil and the change with to Anthony Scaramucci yesterday. And you get things like Jared Kushner's testimony, which is, I think, incredibly good for the president, and you start to get by this. The American people are already tired of it. This investigation has been going on for almost 1 year now. It started last August. People have to remember multiple congressional investigations. The U.S. The Department of Justice investigating millions of dollars being spent of taxpayers' money, and not one shred of evidence that there's been anything wrong, that the president or anyone on our campaign has done anything wrong.
And even Chuck Schumer admitted today in the New York Times, they lost because they ran a bad campaign. Maybe they should end it on that. Dave, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A Daily Beast reporter says Sarah Huckabee Sanders is something called a butch queen. We'll tell you what that actually means. It's not great. And then we'll ask why the left doesn't seem to follow its own rhetoric on bullying. No enemies on the left. That's the rule. Stay tuned.